The Section 25 Ad Hoc Committee has requested a 30-day extension to finalise outstanding matters on the land expropriation without compensation amendment. The DA says this extension is unnecessary and has only been requested solely because the ANC and the EFF can't come to an agreement. For more on this, I'm joined by the DA caucus chairperson, Annelie Lotriet. Annelie, thank you so much for your time. The committee wants an extension now. How is it that they still haven't finalized this report? This is a process that started back in 2018.
Quite correct. Yes, we're just as amazed, but once again, it was our chairperson who just basically never did much, and then all of a sudden things had to be done. And then it became very clear that it's a matter of getting a 2/3 majority. And then the week before last, there was a proposal which was accepted by the committee, obviously by the ANC and EFF, that there should be bilaterals. But what became very clear was that this extension is merely to allow those two parties to get to a point of common ground so that there can be a 2/3 majority. We don't think it is necessary. We think that the process should have been finalized because it causes uncertainty.
Yeah, so there seems to be some tensions around the role of the courts on the expropriation without compensation. What deliberations took place in the committee around this? Because my understanding is the issue has been, that tension has been around the courts and what role they can play, and they still need to find each other on that. What deliberations were they during the committee meetings?
There wasn't that much deliberation. That is the problem. It was proposed early or the end of 2019. It was then put out to public comment. The committee spent very little time in actually discussing the public comment, where it was raised that the issue of the courts are extremely important, and you cannot now have a situation where in the current constitution, Section 25 allows for the courts to come in where there is a dispute and where there is a disagreement. Now it is proposals on the table that the court is put right at the end of the line, which is not just and fair, and it goes against the rule of law. So there has been very much discussion about that. We have obviously expressed our concern and our opposition to this, but the matter has not been thoroughly discussed as to what the actual implications would be.
Yeah, and look, Parliament also can't really prescribe to the judiciary what it can or cannot do. What concerns do you have, though, as the DA around the longer this drags on, the longer their differences drag on? Because these delays will then also affect investor sentiment. You know how the security of tenure has been of great concern for investors. And this uncertainty around this policy is not helping either.
You're absolutely correct, and that's precisely what you mentioned, is the uncertainty. In terms of investment, your property owners, we have no certainty at this point what the banks are saying. What will happen to property that is bonded? Who's going to pay the difference between the expropriation amount, or if it's nil? Who's going to cover the cost? Who's going to carry it? So the uncertainty makes it very difficult, especially for sectors such as agriculture.
Yeah. Annelie Lotriet, thank you so much for making time on The Lead this afternoon.